do graphic design, do one with recovery groups. I'm doing a lot of different things, music, how different substances can help with recovery. And this is my friend.
Yeah, my name is Dylan, and I do real estate investing, personal fitness training, and of course, podcasting. And what this is right here is called the Legendary Living Podcast. So if you're looking for a place where you can learn about entrepreneurship, personal self-development, mindset training, overall health and fitness, and just living your overall best, as legendary life as possible, we'll go further. We finally landed at the perfect stop. That's what Ray and I go about on a weekly basis. We'll talk about each of those things in depth and different subsets of each of those topics.
Yeah, so some things like fitness, entrepreneurship, personal development, mindset, how to achieve goals you want to achieve so you can live your life legendary as well. So we're really happy to have you guys here. Stay tuned. This is our first episode. There's going to be a lot of amazing content that we can't wait to share with you guys. So thanks for being here, and here we go on our first episode.
What is going on, guys? This is Dylan here. This is my friend Ray, and welcome to the very first episode of the Legendary Living Podcast. As you saw in our intro video, I'll just go over again. So all the different things we're going to go over is basically just teaching you how to live your overall best life possible. So this goes into stuff like entrepreneurship, mindset, your overall health and fitness, how to take care of yourself, just everything and anything in general that can help you live your life to the fullest, to its maximum potential. So I'll turn it over to Ray. He can say some words.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Welcome to our first podcast. We're really happy that you're here, and we're really excited and looking forward to it. Yeah, so, a lot of times people go through things that get them down in life, and I know we definitely have our own experiences. So Dylan and I were discussing The Walking Dead. So this episode we're going to call episode 1, The Walking Dead, about people that just seem to be losing or having a lack of zest for life and kind of walking around hopeless, like there's no reason left to live. So I know that's something Dylan and I noticed a lot, and we brought up because we see it as a major issue in the society today. And I really think it's because people haven't discovered their true potential. I don't think they're living to their dreams. I don't think they've maybe given up, or some circumstances and situations in their life arose and things didn't turn out exactly how they had thought. And I know for me, a lot of times that's been the case, and you think there's no other way. There's no way out. So was that Les Brown had a talk on?
Yeah. I think that's just anything in general. Not even just me and you, Ray. All you watch and listen, I'm sure that you've seen this everywhere too, because anywhere you look, it's everywhere. Unfortunately, it's the most dominating thing in society. It's so many people you see them with their heads down, just going through the motions, little to no energy, no purpose, like you said. And yeah, that's hard. But that's life though, that's why they call it the top 1%, like the real elite, the people that are really successful doing well. They're called the top 1% for a reason, like it's not easy to get there. If it was, everybody would be a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, zillionaire, whatever. So, it's not easy. And that's why you see the majority of people like that. But again, that's life. Everybody goes through some stuff. There's not a single person that's not going through something. I've gone through stuff. You've gone through stuff. All you listen and go through stuff. That's just life. And I think what really separates the winners and the losers, the successful from the unsuccessful, is that how you look at those trials and errors. You can either get down the fetal position under your bed and say, poor me, and cry. And you're probably gonna one of these people that are low energy, going through the motions, or you can use it to your advantage. You can think of it in a positive light. You can think that this is for my best interest. Everything happens for a reason. This is going to strengthen me. It's not permanent. It's just temporary. I'm going to get through this because the Lord never gives us anything more we can't handle. And you take it and use it as a positive and use it to fuel your way to get through it and persevere. So, I mean, it's really just your mindset is the biggest thing. And then tying it back into the title of our podcast, the Legendary Living Podcast, the reason we wanted to start off with this, The Walking Dead, is because this is the first barrier you have to break through in order to be living that legendary life and start achieving your goals. You have to find your purpose. You need to get out of that Walking Dead mindset, and you need to start looking at things in a positive light. You need to find your purpose in order to get on the right track.
Yeah, and if some people might not know their purpose or know even where to start, but like you said, man, it's all mindset. That's really what it is. It's just how we choose to look at things, and whether we realize it or not, there's laws at work. There's forces at work. These universal laws, and if we're not living in harmony with them, we're not going to get the results that we desire. But either way, whether we accept them or realize them or not, they're still working. Either we can have them work for us or against us. And a lot of times, I mean, in my life, I had them working totally against me and didn't even know I didn't know. So it's another reason we're doing this, is to try and help wake some people up, or maybe that people that are struggling just don't know where to start or what to do or where to go. So that mindset is, I've noticed, I found with my purpose, it was a lot closer than I thought. It was so much closer. It was like if it was any closer, it would have bit me. And it was like underneath my nose the whole time. But I was always like this thing that I searched for, but really it didn't really require much searching for me. It seemed like it, but having that purpose though, I mention that because it's like, that's the starting point. You have to have a goal, a worthy ideal, something that gets you fired up, wakes you up in the morning, something that you care about, that you have passion, and you're serving a greater purpose.
Yeah, that's all about. And like you said, I mean, it doesn't even take that much looking. It's usually what the thing that turns things around, what you need to be doing, your purpose is right underneath your feet or right underneath your nose. It's all just in how you look at the stuff. You just need to change the way that you look at the world, because a lot of times it's right there, right in front of you. It just depends on the way that you look at stuff. But like you were saying, your mindset really is the biggest thing that goes in to living your legendary life, because what's the old saying, mind over everything, mind controls everything.
Yep.
So if your mind is in a bad place, the body's going to follow suit, and vice versa. If your mind's in a strong place, everything else is going to follow suit. And also, it's like the law of energy too. You attract what you give off.
The law of vibration. Yeah.
Whatever you're giving off is what you're going to attract. I know so many people that all they do, the world's just it's one big rain cloud over their head and thunderstorms. That's all they attract is negativity. I know other people that are all sunshine and rainbows and happy, and all they attract is good stuff. So what you need to do is you need to channel and give off what you're looking for. And I mean, if you want to attract negativity, then by all means be negative, but I don't think anybody wants that. So you need to be giving off. You need to start thinking positively and channeling that, and then giving that off to the world, because like I said, what goes around comes around. You give that off, it's going to come back to you. And it's just going to make the world a better place overall. You're going to start having greater influence on people's life. People are going to look at you, and they're going to remember that you made them feel good. It's going to make them feel good. They're going to start doing good. It's like a domino effect. So think of it that way too. It's not only doing good for you, it's doing good for everybody around you.
Yeah. And too, what you were saying, the law of vibration, the law of attraction is a secondary law. The law of vibration is a primary law. And essentially, I was just reading this book called Ask and It Will Be Given to You by Esther Hicks and her husband. I can't remember his name, but in there it says that we are all ultimately energy. Everything is energy. Everything is vibrating. So we are a mass of vibration, and everything we see is a mass of vibration. We're using our five senses to absorb all this information, which is coming to us in vibration and literally becoming us, because it's all vibration that's connected. So understanding that is very, very important, because that is how things work and move. Everything has a vibration to it, and like does attract like. So whatever we're focusing on, we literally fuse with it. We fuse with the idea, and the idea becomes a part of us, and we will see that it manifests itself in our reality. So whatever the main focus is going to be what shows up. And I know I've had like complete 180 shifts in my life. I don't know about you, but I've had some things where I've been a very different person, or looked at life a very different way, and I got very different results. So, and one thing, you were saying, it sounds like it doesn't matter to have a positive mindset and attract good things into your life. You don't have to have like a college degree, right? Or like be smart, or be somebody special. So like you said, some people that have really good things and they're upbeat, and other people that they're just like a rain cloud. And I'm sure there's various levels of education or the families they were born into. I mean, I don't think none of that stuff matters. It doesn't mean that you can't be successful if you were born in a different situation.
Well, it certainly plays a role, but obviously it doesn't have to define you.
Right.
That's the big difference. People think that's because what you were given, the hand you were dealt, that nothing's going to go your way and you can't change the circumstances. That's the furthest thing from the truth, though. As soon as you realize that, that's when things start to change. You're the one that's fully in control. Just because you were dealt a bad hand doesn't mean that things are going to be bad forever. Everything is temporary, good or bad. Your external factors, it really don't matter. The thing that matters is you controlling what's going on. And as soon as you realize that, you're the one that's in control. Don't let anybody else ever tell you or make you think differently. You're the one that's in control. It's your life. So, and the way you control it is, it starts, again, going back to your mindset. It comes from there. It starts from within. As soon as you get a hold of that and start working that in your favor, everything else is going to follow suit. And obviously, in addition to mindset, persistence is the key. You got to keep at it. You can't just do it for a day and expect everything to do a 180 in a day, because then you're just lying to yourself, and you're gonna drive yourself down to a deeper hole. So what you need to do is you need to stick with it. You can't expect things to change in a day. Everything takes time, especially good stuff. So you need to first get your mindset right. You need to stick with it, and then define your purpose and watch everything else fall in place. And you go ahead, Ray.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, and that's why it's so important to find that purpose, because to build a life that you really want, it can be very challenging, and you absolutely have to have persistence. I mean, that's like the one thing that if you just maintain that persistence, you're going to get there. But if it's not something that moves you inside, that you don't really care about, if you're just fooling yourself, or you're just doing something because a family member said, oh, you should go to school for this, because like in my personal case, like I was just told, you got to do something, and I was good at a class in high school, so I went for that. And I felt, I was told I have to go do something and get a job, and I just picked something, and it turns out, I mean, it was a cool experience. It taught me a lot of things, but it wasn't what really lit me up inside, and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't succeeding with it, So, and I had to really, it was a major turning point there, and like a paradigm shift, a different thing, and I had to look at things differently. And sometimes in life, it's events do. Sometimes a strong emotional impact will get us to change, but other than that, it's like repetition and study and understanding myself and how I work. And then when I understand that, I understand better how other people work. And then I have a better tolerance level for people. I can handle situations better. It's just like, everything we're talking about is a domino effect. And this is like awakening the inside. It's like living from the inside out, and instead of letting circumstances govern the choices that I make, and then being upset for the results because I made a choice based on a circumstance that I wasn't happy with, instead of not letting the circumstance define what I'm going to do next, So that was a big lesson for me.
Yeah, it's funny you saying that, how you're talking about how you make your decisions based on what other people say that you should do. And I can't help but laugh because, look, unless you want to drive yourself into the ground and make yourself nuts, then you shouldn't be doing what other people tell you to do. If you try to do what other people do, if you spend your life trying to do what other people tell you should do or what they think you should do, you're just going to have an unhappy life and you're going to just drive yourself right into the ground. So, I was
pretty straightforward.
I'm trying to get to that point too. So you're probably wondering, like, how do you define your purpose? Especially when you're like a young gun coming up out of high school or out of college, and life's confusing enough. You're everything's starting to change. Your life's starting to come. Like you're really
coming up.
Yeah, you're heading to the starting line now. Stuff's starting to get real, and you're wondering, like, how the hell do I know what to do? I'm not even sure the one I just went to school for is what I want. So how do I know what I want to do with my actual life, right? So there's the ways that I think you do this is really, you hear this all the time, I'm sure, but it's turn your passion into profit, right? And you can make money doing anything. You really can when you think about it. And so you just got to find what you really love and or what you're really, really good at, and sit down and think of a way of how you can use that to earn a living, right? And that's what you do. That's what I do. Yeah. That's what Ray does. And if you're listening to us from America, you're in the perfect place. Despite what anybody tells you, this is the place to be if you're looking to do that. So, Ray, if you have anything to add on to that, go ahead. But
you really can. You can, whatever your passion is, you absolutely can. Especially with today's market and technology and the internet, you can. People make a living talking about any kind of subject you can imagine, and I see it, and sometimes it blows my mind, and I'm like, wow, if it wasn't for the internet, this wouldn't be possible. But it's a step-by-step process too, like with like making earning money, and how do I want to do that? How's that look like? Number one, you got to realize there's no race. I think a lot of times, like if you're younger, maybe fresh out of high school or getting ready to graduate, or in your early 20s, like, I should have arrived. I'm like 25 and all my friends are married and have houses. I should have arrived already, but there is no race. It's just a belief that's been kind of programmed into our society that by a certain time you have to be at a certain point. But the truth is, everybody takes a different path, and you find that differently, through different experiences. But you just got to keep going, and it comes to you. Like, you get ideas. I didn't really know what the next step was for me, but I just knew it had to be something on my own. So I just started playing with ideas, and I just started telling people what I was thinking and asking for help, honestly. And other people are like channels. They give you ideas, and sometimes one of them clicks, and for me it did. And so I was just like, okay, and I took a leap and decided I was going to do something different, and instead of go and work for somebody else, I decided I was going to start my own thing. And that's like a major leap, and it can be a scary one. But on the other side of the terror barrier that so many of us can counter on a daily basis is freedom. There's like massive amounts of freedom. And then looking back, it's like, man, why was I so scared? Like, that wasn't like, I didn't die. I think a lot of times we think like we're going to die, or like the house is going to burn down, or like the worst case scenario,
The greatest thief of happiness and success is fear.
Yeah.
Always. Because nothing is ever as bad as you think it is. And on the flip side, nothing's ever as good as you think it is.
Yeah.
Right. It's on your head, especially with fear. All it does, it's going to hold you down and keep you underwater and keep you from reaching your potential. And I want to go back to what you were saying about how you said it's not a race and don't worry about the time. And I think that's really important for people to know. Listen to me. It is hands down the most self-destructive thing to do, to play the competition game.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy how we're all 8 billion different people in this world, or whatever number the world population's at now, and we're all so different. So to compare yourself to somebody else, not only is it self-destructive, but it's pointless. They're a completely different person from you. You can't just maybe their life is going to be set and take off tomorrow. Maybe yours is another 20 years from now. Either way, what the hell does it matter?
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. The timing doesn't matter. All it matters is that you stick with it. You have a positive mindset. And then when the timing is right, when it's meant to happen, it will happen. Just remember that even if things don't go your way when you want to, none of that matters. Whatever is meant to happen will happen. If it doesn't happen, if things don't turn out the way that you like, instead of getting down, upset, just think, oh, well, whatever. Wasn't meant to be. Obviously, there's something better in store for me. And that's the truth. There is. Look back at your life anytime, not from the world's falling down and rain clouds and thunderstorm mindset, but from a positive mindset. Look back and honestly say, when things haven't gone your way, did they not turn out better than what you thought?
I have many times that's happened, for sure.
Exactly. And that's how life goes. Nothing. And I mean, sometimes the things that we want to happen the most to us are the best things that never happened to us, because you'll look back and think, damn, if that happened.
Lord, yeah.
God knows where I'd be right now. Not where I want to be, not where I need to be. But that's the point. Whatever's meant to happen is going to happen. And it's going to happen right when it's meant to. So don't worry about what so-and-so's doing or when it takes off. I've done that before. And all it is unnecessary stress and unnecessary unhappiness. It's just pointless. There's no point. It's the complete reverse of Legendary Living and just staring right into The Walking Dead. So I wanted to touch on this too. Like how can I find my purpose? You said turn your passion to profit. So we'll use us for example. I'll go first since I'm the one talking. I love working out. I love personal training. And that's what I do. I found a way where with the power of social media, I can just get and post my different workouts every day, the different tips, dieting, all these different things. And I can use that to personal train people anywhere around the world. And the best part of that, because of social media, I don't even have to be there with them. So it takes a little time out of my day and reaching people all over the world, which I couldn't do if I was just doing it in person. I would just be stuck in my little area. And I get to do what I love to do. I get to work out and help people work out, help them build their dream body, live a healthier life. And I love real estate. I love property stuff. So what I do real estate investing and property management. Me and one of my cousins, we have our business that we run, and we do remote real estate investing. And again, the power of technology, where if I didn't have it and I wasn't using that, I'd be stuck in my little remote area. But by the power of networking and technology, I can do this wherever in the United States or even the world. And I know Ray has his own business too. What do? You do graphic design?
Yeah, graphic design. That's one of the things that I get to help and pick my clients, pick who I want to work with, and offer them an awesome service and value that's from me because I really care about it. And it's just different when it's yours. It's very different. And and I also help a lot of people in recovery from substances, addictions. And that's another passion and area of mine that I'm growing. And I started a group that is a support group, a recovery support group. I've partnered with a local organization, and that just actually launched this week. So it's a big week. But the point is, you can do things, you can start things, but you have to start somewhere, and you just start from where you're at, And one thing a quote that when you were talking about people and competition and looking at other people's results, one quote that comes to mind is, amateurs compete, professionals create. So if you really understand that and really take it in, like let that sit a minute, like professionals create. So when you're just creating, you're not worried about, you're not looking at other people's results because you're focusing your imagination on a new idea that's new to you. And it's like raw and fresh, and it gets you excited. So like there is no competition when everybody just kind of creates what they want to create and understands how the flow of things goes. So it's very true because I don't know, comparing myself, I think growing up too in school, I used to do that. I used to compare myself.
Everybody does.
Yeah, it's pretty like a natural part of like growing up. And it's just like, ends in heartache, really.
Yeah, it really is human nature, but it takes time and practice, but you just got to get yourself out of that mindset. And the one thing that I learned is that it's all about universal winning, right? I mean, you think about it, there's really no logical reason that can't be the case. Everybody can't be doing their own thing and succeeding and thriving. I mean, I dare you, tell me a good reason why. Is there a reason? I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head, a good one. Maybe you can, but I can't. It just doesn't seem really. But yeah, I mean, yeah, follow your passion. Serious, that's the key. Follow your passion and make it profit, because that's like the cheat code of life. Because you do that, you'll never have a problem waking up, being positive and being happy and going after it, getting after it, staying after it and getting it done. You'll never feel like you're working at all. You'll feel like you're just spending your days doing what you want to do. Yeah. You feel like you're just spending all day doing a hobby, not working. It just makes it easier. So it's just, it's like a big cheat code / hack to life and success.
Life hack.
And so you guys listen, you might be thinking like, well, fuck, I don't like working out. I don't like real estate. I don't like graphic design. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Well, whatever you want to do, you really, it's the same for everybody. You just got to sit down and think about what you like and your passion and how you can turn it into profit. So say, for example, you're in the art, you like art. Maybe take out a loan from a bank and open up an art studio. Yeah. Maybe you like music. Go play at these open mic nights or whatever. Same there. You have social media. You have YouTube.
Put it out there.
Yeah, you can do cover songs. Same if you're a comedian. You like doing comedy, stand up, go to a bunch of open mic nights. Get yourself out there on social media. I mean, anything that you like to do, whatever it is, there's always a way to do. You just got to sit down and think about it. I mean, those are all just things off the top of my head. Maybe you're an ex-football player, baseball player, basketball player that can't give up the game, and you're getting down because your career came to an end. It doesn't have to come to an end. You can open up a personal training business, train
you
kids in
your knowledge.
Grade school, middle school, high school. Again, the biggest, with the power of social media, technology, you can reach everybody. And I mean, the sky is really the limit. It's only going to improve and innovate and get better. So really, whatever you like to do or you want to do, you just really got to sit down and think about what all is out there and present available to you where you can turn that passion into profit. I just listed 4 examples off the top of my head. Ray, I'm sure you can come up with more. I'm sure more will come to me. But just the point is that there's always a way. You just got to sit down and think and then come up with your step-by-step plan of how you want to do it. You have the vision, and then you have the little step-by-step ladder parts how you're going to do it. So, I mean, if you sit down for like a solid hour, you could probably craft out your whole game plan.
Yeah. And I mean, you really should. You should sit down and think about how you want your life to really be from the end. What do you want that end result to look like? And then from there, so that's the big goal, right? And all a big goal is just a bunch of little goals put together that you achieved over a period of time. And so it's just about setting that goal, but and the same thing that these laws are going to always come into play, like the law of vibration. So your goal is up here. We have to be on the same level as our goal. We can't say I want to be like the CEO of a $100 million company, but yet we're thinking about how poor we are and how broke we are and how hard it is and how cruel everybody is and everything in this situation that I can't get out of, or whatever the case is, or this person's stopping me from doing this, or when I get the money, then I'll do this. All these like limiting beliefs. Like we have to raise our energy, and we do that with the mind, the power of the mind, and changing our thinking to get on that frequency. Because there's no other way that you're going to do it. You have to be in tune. Like it has to be flowing through you.
I'll bring up another important thing too, not to cut you off, but like a very important thing that I just want to make sure that people know is that be relentless about getting after the goals and your vision, but also at the same time, be flexible about it too. And I say just because as life goes on, stuff comes up. Again, how many times in your life has something gone exactly as according to plan?
Yeah.
I can't even think of one off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it didn't turn out good or better than I thought. I'm just saying that it's not going to turn out exactly step by step as you think. So be relentless and persistent and always persevere. You know, don't change that. But I'm just saying, just be very flexible and have, what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta be not, you can't be too caught up in it. Don't be sensitive is the thing. Don't be heartbroken when stuff changes and doesn't go your way.
Right.
Because
Don't
of
be too attached. Yeah.
that's the thing. Don't be too attached, because stuff's going to change. You're going to see whether it's external factors or your own mind changes. Things are going to change, or maybe something comes up you like better, or maybe one of your stopping points, one of your goals, you change your mind. It ends up being something you don't want to do anymore, something you don't like. So I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. You got to be relentless about getting after it, about achieving success in your goals and your vision, but don't be too attached, like Ray said. Thanks for helping me with that one. Yeah, don't be too attached, and be very flexible about the goals at the same time, though. I'm not saying to change your mind. I'm not saying it's like a cop out. I'm just saying that's just being honest. Things are going to change as you go along. Stuff's not going to go exactly as according to plan. And again, I'm not saying the cop out here and just quit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just be flexible so you don't get too distraught or attached or unhappy. I'm just saying just be prepared. Okay. And it's okay to change. It doesn't have to be etched in stone. Once you put it in play, it didn't go exactly how I thought.
Yes.
I got to stop and quit. No, I'm just saying, just be flexible about your ways. And when stuff changes, that's not an excuse to not keep getting after it. That's more of an excuse to get after it and get it done. I'm just saying, don't be too attached, because stuff is going to change, and never does it go according to plan. If you're one of those people that happens, you're 1 in a million. Fantastic for you. I tip my hat to you.
To meet you.
Yeah, exactly. But I just want to make sure we're clear on that. Be stubborn but flexible at the same time.
Yeah, so the goal stays the same, but the plan may take some turns. But the point is, you have a direction, right? It's kind of like if we just pulled out the driveway with no particular place in mind. I mean, which way would you go? Would you turn left? Would you turn right? And okay, would you go west? And then you go west, and what happens when you get there? You just keep going west. I mean, so you gotta have a path, a direction you're shooting for. And but yeah, don't get too attached to the results, really. I mean, you gotta be passionate about it, but you gotta be able to go with the flow too.
You don't worry about carving things out exactly, an exact map. Like, think of it as almost like a PowerPoint presentation, almost like a PowerPoint slide. You have the main title, the vision, and you have the little bullet points, the goals, and then the little details you go on about that way. Think about it that way. Don't worry about mapping out like an exact book. Okay, think of it more as like a PowerPoint slide or presentation where you have the main title or the vision, and then the little bullet points, or like the little stopping points, the blocks, little goals in between to get to that vision. So think of it that way.
That's a really good illustration. Yeah, that's
Appreciate
really cool.
it.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, man. Yeah, and the purpose is like the slide itself. That's how
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, as you see, it's really not that hard of stuff. I mean, it's really
not.
It's a very quick, easy 180 you can make like that.
Yeah.
And by this, I mean like an hour.
Yeah.
So really, or however long this podcast is, after you're done listening to this, seriously, I want you to do me a favor and go ahead and sit down, like I said, for an hour max and do what I said. Think about what your passions is, or what you're really good at, and then think about how you can turn it into profit. It shouldn't take you more than an hour, especially if it's what you actually like.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even take you that long. And if it does, it won't feel like an hour, I promise you. But do this, and I'm telling you, just from that, life's going to change. You're going to notice immediate effects like this.
Yep. These are definitely tools you can implement immediately and start reaping the benefits, getting different results immediately, just by changing a thought.
Yeah, another thing too I want to say, I'm sorry, a lot of things are coming into my head, but make sure don't think it has to be just one thing. You can do multiple different things. What was the group we were in? Multiple streams of income?
Yeah, multiple sources of income. Yep.
And that's the key right there, multiple sources, especially nowadays with how the value of the dollar keeps driven down by these dumbos at the Federal Reserve printing money like it's a fucking Monopoly game.
Yep.
Anyways, aside from that, politics aside, you really need to have multiple streams in line to be successful. So don't think you just need to do one thing. Think of all your passions, how you can do it, and what you're good at.
Behind them. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. That's what Ray's doing.
Yep. But it's always good to get one plate spinning at a time before you go on to the next one. You want to kind of get something started and get it, kind of solid.
Exactly.
And then you get another one spinning, one at a time. But yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So adding on to that, I would say start with the one you really love the most and go from there. As soon as you get that one settled and rolling, then move in the next one you'd like to do the next most. And after just keep doing the pattern until you do what you like. Maybe 3 things you really love to do and 4 things you're really good at. Doing one by one in the order of which you like. I would say maybe do like the one you really like the best first, and then the one you're really good at next. And then do the next one that you really like, the second most next, and the next one that you're really good at, and do it that way. So like mix it up so you have some you actually like to do and some you're really good at. So just an idea. You don't have to do it that way. Yeah. I'm not a professor on this by any means, but I'm just saying something's worked for me and I hope it works for you. So yeah, I mean, if you have 7 streams of income, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
That could be massive. I mean, that's life-changing. And that's how most of the wealthy people in the world earn their money, is with MSIs.
That's how you get to that 1%.
Yes. What is it, like 95 or 98% of the population earns 2% of the money, and the other 2% of the population earns 98% of the money. Yeah. It's roughly,
That's because a lot of people haven't learned this. You've just been taught to go get a job, slave away from money.
And it doesn't have to be that way. It's just a mindset, and it's a belief system, and you can change beliefs. They call them limiting beliefs. I didn't even hear that term until maybe 5 years ago, maybe. And after I heard the word limiting beliefs, it's kind of self-explanatory what it means. It means a belief that I have that puts a limit on what I am. So there really aren't any limits. There really aren't. When you really learn and understand and believe and trust, we are like God's highest form of creation. We have infinite reservoirs of potential within us. We can create like whatever we want. We were given the abilities to. All the little animals run around, they're stuck in their environment but they're totally at home. We get very disoriented in our environment because we can create our own environment. So that's our gift. So that's what we need to start doing, is creating. And when I wasn't creating, when I wasn't living into my potential and my purpose, I mean, I was walking around like The Walking Dead. So that's where this all kind of ties in.
I love that too, right? You brought that up. I want to add on to that too, because just like you said, like every person on this earth is put on here for a reason. God made all of us for a reason. We all have a gift. We all have something that we can achieve to bring out to the world, to make it go round, to make it a better place, right? And like, unfortunately, like you said, that 98%, they just go to their 9 to 5 or their 8 to 4, come home, eat, sleep, repeat. Yeah. It's not really your fault. It's the way you're brought up. Between the schools, the quote unquote education system, I don't want to call it education, what they teach you. They're essentially just teaching you to be a slave is what they're doing, getting a JOB, which stands for just over broke, just settling for that. And then between that and you come home and your parents are telling you the same thing, again, not their fault, it's just because that's what they were taught. Yeah, so,
it's a cycle for sure.
Yeah, so, a lot of people, it's not even your fault. It's it's the way that you're taught. You just have to get out of that mindset. You just have to have the courage and the flexibility. You need to put the stubbornness and ego aside and be willing to, reverse engineer and relearn how you should be. Because just going to a 9 to 5, coming home, dreading the night coming because you know you're gonna have to wake up again, do it all over again. Essentially, just living your life on repeat is what I'm trying to say.
With the results.
Yeah, that's not what we were put on this earth for. Again, God put us all on this reason on this earth for a reason, because we have a gift, so we can bring out. We all have potential to do something great. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
If not, we wouldn't be here, and that's the truth.
Right. And another point too, some people, that thing of yours, that might be a 9 to 5 for some, you know what I mean? So not to say that if you have a 9 to 5, it's all doomed either, or that's not the way to go at all. But that might be like where you shine. That might be it. You know, you can make huge impacts in what you do, but be passionate about it is the key.
Yeah, you're a good. That's a good point. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like shitting on you people with 9 to 5. That's not what I'm saying at all. I agree with what you're saying. If that truly absolutely is what you want to do, then by all means go do it. That's the whole point of this. It's not saying you shouldn't have a job. It's saying you should do what you want to do. If you really like your desk job, like say you're a doctor's son, you have shifts. You're doing like a 9 to 5. Say you work for whatever you do. Say you have a job downtown somewhere.
Engineering, school, sure.
Anything you do. If you work in the trades, I mean, if you really like that's what you wanted to do, then by all means do it. I'm just saying what I'm saying because I know the vast majority of people I know, and I'm sure that you know, are not doing what they want to do. They don't want to be doing that 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. And that's why I say that, why I said, because I'm talking to the mass.
Yeah.
Majority of people. And yeah, if that's what you really like, then by all means go ahead and do it. But I know for a fact that's not the majority of people. And that's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. I think the last statistic I heard was over half of Americans, maybe even 80% or something, like unhappy with what they do. It's like an astonishing number that is like heartbreaking, and it shouldn't be that way. I mean, it's the complete opposite, I think, of what it should be. I mean, that number should be like 2%. It should ultimately be 0, but realistically, it should be very, very, very small. But it's not, and it's because of like the paradigm, the programming. We've all been, this is something too that you have to buy into. You have to start to kind of trust in something different than the understanding maybe you built a life on so far, and that can be tough. But it's possible. I know if I can do it, I think anyone can, because man, I just thought like everything was horrible at one point. I think the world was out to get me. Then I was like, this is my life. This is what I'm destined to live, and I'm unhappy, and that's just the way it's going to be, and that's just how it is, and blah, 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 blah. And that thought process just kept getting me more of it. Not to get off on a tangent, but it does apply, and it fits right in with what we're talking about.
Stuff we throw at you, but it all circles back to mindset. That has to be the starting point.
So,
and then, I don't want to interrupt you again, but I wanted to add on to the point you added on, say you do like your 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, what you do. That's great. I'm happy for you. Keep doing it. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt to also apply what we were talking about before. Whatever other passions you have, find a way to turn into profit, because that multiple streams of income never hurts. It really doesn't. And sooner or later, it's just how humans are. At some point, you get tired of what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure someday inevitably you're going to wake up and not like that 9 to 5 anymore. And then you don't got to worry and stress because you have this other side stream of income you're doing, which actually happens to be another passion you had. So there's never anything to worry about. And that's the other reason the multiple streams kicks in here, because again, what I just said, at some point, sooner or later, it's just inevitable. You're going to wake up one day and get tired of what you're doing. That's how we are as human beings. That's how we're engineered. Yep. And so when you get tired of one, you can be like, okay, it's whatever. I still have three, 4 other things I'm doing. I just find something else I like. It's usually it's usually the same as like whenever one door closes, another opens. You know,
Exactly.
same thing with your likes and interests. As soon as you get tired of one, usually something new opens up. So where one thing closed, a new opportunity is born.
It leads into the next, and it grows and expands, and that's what we're meant to do.
Exactly.
So if we had to wrap it up and say the top 5 points for changing your life from the Walking Dead to the alive and prosperous,
The legendary living.
That's right.
Yeah.
So don't compare yourself with others.
Well, first and foremost, again, mindset is the main thing. Yeah. And then I'm thinking of how to turn yourself your passion into profit, right?
Yep.
Not comparing yourself to others along the way.
Yep.
Being flexible about getting there. Relentless, but flexible.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so that persistence piece.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
That's number 5.
Perseverance. Yeah. So if you can follow those things, you are well on your way, and just keep repeating that process. Just keep repeating that process over and over and over, and just focusing on the goal and keep on the positive thinking. If you can do that, we are very, very certain that you will reach your goals.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously, as soon as you're finished listening to this, do what I said. Go ahead, sit down for an hour, think about what your passions are and what you're really, really good at and how you can turn into profit. And then rank them in order, which you like the most to the ones that you like the least, and start that way. Attack them one at a time. Shouldn't take you more than an hour, but it's going to probably be the greatest hour investment you make.
Yes, and it's an investment in yourself, the best thing you could ever invest in. So do it.
Exactly. All right, guys, it's been nothing. I don't have anything more unless you have some. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us this first episode. We'll be coming back at you very soon with some more great content.
Yep.
You guys take care. Look forward to seeing you next time.
See you guys.